We say it and we're like, is this really happening?
Hey everyone, welcome to The Cole Life. There have been a number of crazy things happening in our world today. Coronavirus has affected a lot of people's lives, and it's definitely impacted ours, especially as we are preparing to bring our first baby into the world. This timing has been very interesting. So we wanted to take a few minutes today and just tell a little bit about what's been going on with us, a quick update, and also just how God has been working throughout this process in really a truly amazing way. And we've just seen the silver lining in all of this. So if you haven't, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you guys with us to look at all the other videos and topics that we talk about. So,
you know, I don't even know where to start because there's so much that has happened. Literally every day has been something new. And we just wanted to share our story and what's been happening with us personally. So as you guys know, that we were planning on doing going to the Natural Birthing Center, we found out that we were only allowed to bring one person with us. You know, we couldn't bring our family, we couldn't bring our friends, we couldn't even bring our doula that we paid for. Not
even just into the labor and delivery room, but literally the hospital will not allow any family, anyone else, but literally myself.
And that was uncomfortable for me for multiple reasons. One, I feel like we hired a doula for many reasons, because I feel like it's good for Brian to get support when this is our first time having a child. We don't know what to expect, and it's good to just have somebody that knows like the ins and outs of delivery and active labor versus early labor. And you have family that show you that, but it's different to have someone that has been experienced and know how to give your labor and delivery, give you a great experience, the best experience you could possibly have. I feel like that's what doula's role is. Also on the other side is advocacy. Considering that I am a Black woman, there is a lot of stereotypes, there's a lot of stigmas that go into Black women going into labor in a hospital, and I just want to make sure that I am spoken for, and we are very aware of what to say to nurses, to say to doctors, because we do have a plan of action. It may not always go as planned, but as far as making sure that we're not being taken advantage of, or I'm not being taken advantage of, it's just nice to have a doula there.
And you know, obviously you all know me, I'm not afraid to speak up and speak my mind, so I would be advocating for her as loudly and as strongly as need be, but I still don't know always what to advocate for. I don't know what is common procedure and what is
just
unnatural,
a choice,
right? And just a choice.
And then also, I could not imagine my mother's not being there with me during my first pregnancy, during my first, labor and delivery.
And the other component is that Lexi wants an unmedicated birth. So that's a situation in and of itself. Part of the doula's role is to help her with even physical exercises and movements and motions and counter pressure and pressure points and things like that to help her get through that pain and to decrease those pain levels and take your attention and focus off of that pain.
Right.
So without having someone to guide us through all that, the concept of doing it with just the two of us, not knowing all of those methods and try to also have an unmedicated birth was a somewhat overwhelming thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I want to say that it's definitely understandable of why they, want to do it, because of social distancing, period. But it is uncomfortable. It's not something that we wanted. It's not something that we envisioned. And yeah, birthing plans don't always, happen the way you want them to, but that was something I would like, some of my family to be there.
Yeah, we felt like the experience for our family and for us was being ripped away from us, because our family's been there since the beginning, through IVF, through the journey up and down that we've had. And we've had a great pregnancy, but to have their support and them to see the finality of our daughter being born, this is the first grandchild for both of our parents. Like, this is a really big deal. And
it's a big deal for us just as support in general. We pretty much found that out, I want to say last Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday.
Yeah, and honestly, we were trying, like, what am I trying to say? Like, we were really pushing to figure out what's our next move.
I think we had a day where we had a day where we just kind of we had a bad day.
We had a bad day. Like, I broke down in tears. Brian broke down in tears. And it's just because, like, dude, this is the unknown for us.
It was overwhelming.
I get that many people have babies, but for us, this was like, wait, what? So I'm thankful to God that we were able to, we have 3 weeks until our baby's due. Some people are figuring this out literally today, or literally, you know, right when the news came out. They're going into labor and delivery, bringing their families in, and now they cannot, they have to be sent away. So we had like a really bad day. And then after that day, it really took us some time to just like meditate and focus on God and just like, God, what are you trying to do? And one of the things that my mother told me, Brian's mom, she was just like, God knew that this was going to happen before we even knew about the coronavirus. Like, God knew that this was happening. She's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. God has a plan. And in my mind, I'm like, I understand that, but what is the plan? What's the plan? And what plan, whatever plan, we have to figure it out now.
But I think it was also okay for us to have a bad day. And I think we sometimes can rush into the faith move and just, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine. But it's okay to grieve the loss of something. There was a loss there. There's a loss of an experience that we wanted to have the way we wanted to have it. And that's okay. And we cried, we had our moment, but then we had to think, all right, what is God doing in this? Let's hear from him.
Yeah.
And we just began to pray and ask for peace. We said, God, whatever direction you want us to go from here, however you want us to do it, we know you're going to work in it and something beautiful is going to be produced.
I do want to say that God really showed himself in the last couple of days after that happened, because right when they made that announcement in Michigan that you could only bring one person, literally, we were meeting with our lactation consultant, who's also a doula. We were meeting with our birthing teacher, who's also a doula. And then we were meeting with our counselor that same weekend. So we had so many people that are advocates for like just helping during this process. We were able to talk to in person, and, you know, we shared our thoughts, we shared our concerns. And these are people that know us personally. They just helped in such a tremendous way, where they gave us options. They said, do not, you know, this is a hard time. This is not easy. We're trying to advocate for you guys in general and really put it out there that people still need doulas to come because they are health providers, but also just there are different options. There are other options.
Tell them what one of those options is.
They gave the option of a home birth.
And we were like,
when I first wanted a baby, I'm like, oh, I want to do a home birth. But then I'm like, probably shouldn't do it my first time. Maybe I should do it my second or third time, you know, if I'm, see how I feel. There's a lot of stuff that goes into labor and delivery. Our birthing teacher, who's a doula, she said, why don't I give you some midwives that you can talk to and see if you can get them in. A lot of people are transitioning out of hospitals right now because of the situation. It's uncomfortable and it's inconvenient. So we were like, okay, maybe if we can get her in, you know, this weekend, we'll talk to her.
Oh, by the way, of course, our parents are freaking out in the most positive way. They're like, we want a home birth.
Right.
We want a home birth.
Right.
They're all like, this is it. This is what we want.
And they don't, and you know, the whole thing is like, well, women have been doing it for years. Women have been, you know, having babies without hospitals for years. And I'm like, yeah, but there's hospitals. To really break it down, what was concerning for me was that I really had to get to a place of, what am I really trying to do? Am I really trying to do this unmedicated birth, or does it just sound nice? Does it just sound cool?
I had to ask her a couple times, how important is it to you to have an unmedicated birth? We've done the research. We've looked at the positive effects that it has on the body and things of that nature that we wanted for our experience and our baby. But at the end of the day, is it worth it to you? And she looked at me and she was like, first time I asked, she was like, I'm 70% there. I'm 70%. I'm not 100%.
Yeah. And our counselor really helped us as far as like digging down where that came from. And a lot of it has come from me having a fear of not finishing things. Because if I actually said I wanted to do something, that means that I have to commit to it, which has caused anxiety for me. Because I have put in my head that I was not a finisher, that I was not somebody that did that. And over the past couple of years, God has helped me restore my faith in myself and my confidence in myself, and knowing that whatever business venture, whatever relationship, whatever you know, anything that you really do, like you are able to do it. You have grit. You have the capacity to do it. And that was something that really came out during the counseling, is that this is one of those times where if you're not going to do it for you, and you feel like that, you know, you still may be struggling with that, you know that you would do it for other people. And that is a big thing for me. I am huge on loyalty. Like if somebody needs me or somebody needs me to do something, I go over and beyond.
And she will sacrifice to
do it, because I'm like, I care about these people so much. And I'm also learning to finish things for myself. Like I have to prove to myself that I'm able to do it. And our counselor was like, well, what kind of mother are you trying to be? Because if you want to be that mother that shows that you're finishing, that shows that you're able to accomplish anything, you're sacrificing anything for your kids, anything for your family. How is this no different? You are a mother now. So what I do next and how I handle things, I can't handle things like I'm scared to make commitments to myself. And so at the end of the day, I realized that a home birth is not what I was afraid of. It was really what I was nervous about, was making a commitment that I actually wanted to do it.
Between talking with our midwife that we have an interview or a conversation with, between talking with our counselor, between talking to just our parents and all of the people surrounding us, and also God, Lexi has gotten to this place. I have seen a shift in her where she's full of confidence now. She's full of a surety that she is going to do this. She is going to have a natural, unmedicated birth the way that she wants to have it, and the way that we believe that God wants her to have it. Yeah. And that will happen, and it will happen the way God wants it to. Nothing will go wrong. She will be able to handle it. It will be hard. It will be very uncomfortable. But it doesn't
God
have
in the
to,
process.
Right. And it doesn't have to be the stereotypical birth that people see or think of, where the woman is screaming in pain and can't handle it. No, that won't be our story. God will look after her, protect her, and give her strength to get through it. She has it. And I've seen that shift in her. It's been amazing, actually.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
So I think we look at this experience and say, okay, well, it wasn't the way we wanted it. It wasn't the way we saw it. But we believe that we're actually in a better position now
than we were before the coronavirus.
We're in a better position now.
God has placed us with so many people that it's like, I feel like he's putting us around even more supportive people. Even the midwife that we met, like literally the next hour after we met with our counselor, she was phenomenal. And we were able to get her, and she's like, I feel like she's a big deal, but she's 1 in 3 black midwives in Michigan. And she's worked in EMT, she's worked in paramedics. Like, there were so many things that got debunked in my mind as far as what home births are, to the point where now me and Brian were like, I don't care if they change the law or not, we're still gonna do it. And I feel so good about it. I feel at peace because I know that God is in this. When things are changing and when things aren't looking right, God can be making something better. God could be doing something that is even a greater work in us than we even imagined. Yeah. So that's where we're at.
And there's so much beauty in it, and we're so excited. We are excited to do it this way. We're excited that this is God's plan, and it was all along. So we're just along for the ride and seeing how it ends up. So we want to give you all an update on what's going on with us, but we're safe. We're home. We're Netflix and chilling right now.
Yeah, Brian's home for a while, not traveling.
So
we are. You see, I got my baby braids in.
A lot of intimate time together. She's got her hair prepared.
Just in case when it's time. But yeah, we are. This is what we're doing. We're doing a home birth, which I feel like we say it and we're like, Is this really happening?
We promise we are not hippies. We are not,
But that's stereotype, right? That's a stereotype. Is that it's like that. But the thing is, we've been doing this for years. And I got this. You guys continue to send prayers. But I am excited about it. I'm fortunate that God is with me and he's had my back this far. He's not leaving me now. So, period.
We have about 2 weeks to go. So y'all keep us in prayer.
Yes.
Love you all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit us up on Instagram at _thecolife_, and we will see you next week.
See you next week. We will, and yes, we will be recording it. So stay tuned. Love you guys. Bye.